We're continuing our discussion on knowing the unknowable. First topic we talked about last time, so we'll recapture part of it. The knowing the unknowable. Unknowable is within us, and the unknowable cannot be known by definition. Knowledge, by definition, is something about an object that we can see, touch, smell. I can share it with you and train you to do that. So it's something, it's very easy, very obvious. So that's how the science has advanced, knowing, passing the knowledge from one person to another, to another, to another. The unknowable is not something that can be taught in the similar fashion, because there is nothing you are holding on to. It's not something you can touch. It's not something you can smell. It's beyond the senses. And yet it can be known. It can be done. And it has been done by lots of people. Only the path can be shown how to reach to the unknowable. And ultimately it becomes your knowledge. So knowing the unknowable, even though it sounds like an oxymoron, it is doable and it is possible. So that's what we're really getting into the discussion, how to know the unknowable. So all the efforts that we have done so far are very primitive, because whatever is obvious, anybody will spend the time on it. And that has created the science. The science has been used to control the matter, win over the matter, and achieve, gather, hold, accumulate, and all the efforts have been going after, running after the objects, whether the objects of the pleasure, objects of something that can speak something about your fame, your acquisitions, your status in the society, whatever. All those things we have run after all the time. And that has given rise to the science. Science is all about matter. Matter is something that can be trained, that can be harnessed to our pleasures. But we don't realize that if the science given us so much achievement, if our inside is empty and dissatisfied, all the things that we have, one, we will not be able to enjoy, and two, on top of that, we could be harming other people. Imagine in the hands of dissatisfied mind, they get a hold on to a nuclear power. If they have atom bombs, they have a trigger for an atom bomb in their hands, and they're filled with jealousy and hatred and anger towards other people. Imagine what will happen to the billions of people. And we have come to that point. So we talked about how much destruction has been already gone through World War I, World War II, and how much hatred we still have. Hating each other has not solved anything, has perpetually gone into the cycle of hating more and more, accumulating more and more nuclear weapons. We have so much nuclear materials piled up to destroy every single human being in the world 50 times. That's how much nuclear power. 1,000 times. But doesn't matter after you get destroyed once. It doesn't matter.
More than one.
I'm not gonna be around to count it. so that shows that our efforts outside are not useful if we don't have done enough going within. So going within is very, very important. More important now than it used to, say, 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago, all we could do is fight with sticks and stones, maybe destroy each other out, and that's about it. But now we're talking about millions of lives, destroying the earth, destroying the environment, and the whole planet could be wiped off with our silly efforts, So balance has to be achieved. There have been countries where too much importance has been given to the science in the West. So we have achieved a lot in science. And there is nothing wrong with that. Science also deals with matter. Matter is also creation of God. It's Paramatma. Matter is God. Matter is made from energy. Energy is God. So everything outside is also God. And to find the secrets of outside is also important. Nothing wrong with that. But that alone has created a problem if you don't go within. And there has been countries in like the East where too much efforts have been gone within, but materially we have remained poor because we never put any efforts to understand the matter around us. We thought that going within is enough. So we need to have a balanced state of mind, a country which can give importance to the soul as well as to the matter. And forget about the country, forget about anything else. We need to do the same also. Yes, we need to work hard, achieve whatever things we need to achieve to sustain us and move forward, find out the secrets of the world and all these things, but at the same time find out your own secrets within, what you are made up of, what is your internal structure. In fact, science is a more healthy way to go within. So far, science has progressed so well because they have been known to share the secrets. If I do an experiment, the next day that experiment is published in thousands of articles, and people sitting in a remote corner of New Zealand can look at it. My findings can take the research from then onward, can benefit, all these things. But religions, on the other hand, who were supposed to have, they don't share anything. On the contrary, sharing has been kind of a problem for most of these religions because they consider themselves, because that's how they will lose their identity. If I share my secrets with you, that means I am the same as you, and then you will take it from there, and all the business that's been generated by all this will be lost. So there has not been the similar attempts at the spiritual level, the same attempts that, so in fact this scientific approach is needed for this science of soul to search the Paramatma also. And science should not be limited to the matter, because quantum physics have tried to go within, and ultimately they have come up with realization that all these subatomic particles that we're talking about are not particles anymore. They are nothing but energy. But they should not stop at that point. They should use the same scientific methods where you have an independent mind. Your mind is without any hypothesis. You're doing a pure research and development. With that healthy mind, if you go within, then you are being very objective. You don't have a predetermined concept that I'm a Jain, I'm a Hindu, I'm Muslim, I'm this, I'm that. All those beliefs have to be cast aside, because these beliefs have been thrown into your head. And now you approach your soul as with a totally clean mind. How easy would it be to reach to the samadhi, because you don't have any preconceived notion. So in fact, scientists can be the next Purohits, because the traditional Purohits have not done anything. All they have done is maintain their identity. Yesterday, the last Saturday actually, Ramesh Bhai, Murjani, he was saying that he went to one of the temples, I would not name it. He was talking to Purohits. He says, teach me some shlokas so I can go home, and we want to do some small puja at home. So I thought, maybe we can do it. No, you cannot do that. He says, why not? Only we are allowed to do that. Can you believe this is in 21st century? He's telling an educated guy that you're not allowed to speak these slokas because it's us. We can do it. Such a stupidity. So that's what I'm saying. People with the closed minds have been in the charge of religions. And these religions should be given up completely. And all this big hierarchy of the popes and purohits and padris and all those things should be just sent back to the society, do the routine work that as a civilians what they were doing.
Something productive.
Right, and all the scientists should be hired to do the inside soul searching. In fact, as a part of our routine day-to-day education, meditation should be an everyday thing, non-sectorial, without any labeling of any religion. Half an hour of meditation should be part of our daily teaching, along with the science. It's revolutionary, but it can be done. And so we need a scientific approach to go within and forget about the rest of the world. But what we need to do within is to have a balance. We have to know our soul. Then only we can enjoy what is outside. Otherwise, you keep accumulating, you will have no way of enjoying, because a dissatisfied mind cannot enjoy outside, because a dissatisfied mind is going to spread only dissatisfaction. After all, what do you give? You give only what you have. If you are happy inside, you're going to be spreading happiness. If you are unhappy inside, you're going to spread unhappiness. A guy walks into the party and all he talks about how many problems I'm facing in my life, right? The whole party's atmosphere, and everybody gets geared into, oh yeah, I'm having the same problem. And at the end,
everybody discussing their problem.
We came to enjoy the party. At the end of the party, we all leave empty-handed and so dissatisfied and depressed that, oh, I should have not even have gone to the party because I was feeling so good before, and now I feel so rotten. And talk about somebody else, and everybody's talking about this, and all of a sudden one guy walks in. He's such a happy guy. All he starts cracking jokes and I'm fun. And at the end of the day, so we had such a good time because Deepak walked in. Something like that,
It's a different way of learning experience.
Something like that. So what is inside is more important than what we're doing outside, because whatever we're doing outside is a reflection of what we are inside. So do not walk around with your baggage. Clear out your baggage first within. Then outside also you will be sharing your nice packages which are hidden within, the gems and your pleasures. And so having a satisfaction inside is the first step, and only you can do it. No one else can do it for you. So our efforts, we have to start questioning, what are we doing? Are we doing anything that is increasing our inside satisfaction, inside happiness? Or is it giving us a bliss within? Are we ready to handle the world with positive enjoyments day to day? I'm not talking about, say, let's do this to achieve mokshas and swarga and nirvanas tomorrow and this. We are not talking about that. We're talking about every single moment can we enjoy. If we cannot, there is something wrong. So we need to do something, and for us, that will be the way to live the life. So whatever we are doing, we have to understand the importance of it. Likewise, we said we do yoga. Nothing wrong with doing yoga, but is it by itself enough? You may be doing yoga, but you have a lousy inner psyche. It's still not gonna. You will have a healthy body, but is that where you want to stop? You want to go beyond that. Yoga is just a means to achieve a healthy body. You eat healthy foods, fine. Okay, you will have a healthy body. Your cholesterol will be good. You will live longer, but then what? Living longer itself is also not enough. Living positively with every single moment with enjoyment, that's more important. So going within, that will happen. Once you know the unknowable, bliss and joy will start happening. We're going to be holding the comments and questions at the end, so please, because it really disturbs the listening audience also. So people who are ignorant and not spiritually awakened, to have power in their hands is dangerous, and it's almost detrimental to the world. On the contrary, to have a more and more spiritually awakened people can change the face of the earth and save the humanity from destruction. So there is a bigger issues at hand, and that can be started at an individual level. So we have to drop our identifications with anything. All the beliefs have to be dropped, because every single belief holds on to the mind. Mind stays alive, and that belief can be anything from Jainism to Hinduism to I am this and I am that and all those things. Until we drop those identifications, our mind is never going to come to rest. And until the mind comes to rest, we cannot shake hands with Paramatma. Paramatma wants you to come back to the state that where you existed. At the level of existence, you and Paramatma become the same. You disappear. So for you to disappear, all your beliefs have to disappear. So all the rigid, old, age-old concepts and values that we call values have to drop. Then only we can have a little better chance of reaching within and having an internal happiness. So matter is also God, and handling the matter, finding the secrets of the matter is also divine, and there is nothing wrong with that. Only thing is that whatever secrets we're trying to find out outside, we should have a balanced mind to begin with. So pleasure of every second is ultimately the goal, and the goal can be achieved by going within. So the freedom from whatever we have in front of us is going to take us within, because once we are bound to the matter, and then keep on saying that that's all there is, we cannot go within. So life is beautiful and just the way it is, but if it can be shared with everyone, people who have gone within, for them life has been wonderful. Like we talked last time, Rabindranath Tagore, when he died, he said, I would like to come back to this world. I don't want to escape from these cycles of birth and rebirth that traditionally all these Purohits and Pandits have said that life is a hell. You are born only because you did sins in the past. That's why you've been condemned to live this life. You have to walk away from. All these are wrong concepts. If we have that concept, then we're going to walk away from this life and we're going to miss the secrets of life. And how to meet the Paramatma can be done only by actively living in this world. So all those concepts have created a lot of problem. So we have been told that walk away from this world so that you can have nirvana in the future. You can have a moksha in the future. But we're not realizing that running towards the world and running away from the world is still running. Running itself is sansar. Running itself is suffering. Because running requires certain goal to be created and spending X amount of energy to reach that goal. And imagine the number of hours that you add up, even whether all the people who are engaging themselves in total indulgence, enjoying all the pleasures of the world, you imagine how much energy is being spent. Count every single party on the weekends that's happening, and to the enjoyments that you buy, the donuts and whatever, and all those things. Add up all that energy and add up other equation of the energy where people are trying to run away from all these indulgences, all the worshippings and all the Ram they're writing and all the chanting they're doing. And imagine the amount of energy being spent. For what? Whether you run east or west, does it matter? Running is running. Not running is reaching somewhere. And that's the truth of spirituality. So we have to come out of the concept that we have to do anything to reach to Paramatma. We don't have to do anything. Both the teachings have been wrong. The teaching in indulgence is also, of course, wrong because it does not take you anywhere. But running away from indulgences in life is also wrong. Either way, you are not going anywhere. So whenever we think that life is to be condemned, we hate life. And then we start running away from the life. And that has been fed in our head, that life, as we speak, is to be hated. And to do that, to justify that, what the religious leaders did it, set an example of not eating, staying away from women, staying away from this, staying away from that. And when you cannot do it, they make you feel inferior. That, oh, you cannot do it, so we are superior to you. So now we are the examples to follow. So now it generates thousands and thousands of, illiterate people basically without really knowing what a Paramatma is. And that has created all these multiple businesses of the religions. Ramesh Bhai had a first-hand experience. We talked about it, that Pandit told you to, that only he can chant the slokas, We just talked about it before you came. It's such an idiotic thing to say. So, knowing the unknowable is here, right now, manifesting itself in myriads of things. It's speaking in the birds, it's in the leaves, in the rustling leaves, the colors of the fall, the beautiful spring flowers, in you, in me. Unknowable is here and right now. And this is the time, this is the moment to know the unknowable. And to do that, we have to try to understand everything with an unbiased mind. If you have a biased mind, that means your quest for unknowable is going to be over. If a child asks you, what is God? And you give him the statue of Shiva. He said, this is it. Then he's not going to ask next time, what is God? Because now he has the statue and he trusts you. You are his role model. And the fact is, you don't even know that you've been holding that statue of Shiva or Jesus or all your life, and you're doing the same thing because you get a satisfaction that your son or your daughter is doing something that conforms to the same thing that you've been doing and not something different. You are afraid that he will drop the statue of Shiva and hold on to the statue of Muhammad. You are afraid. And that's why you give him, before even has any chance to find out himself, you give him that. So answers kill the question. So the question never arises. And our questions probably used to arise until our parents, our forefathers, our societies that we live in gave us fixed answers that this is what it is. This has been going on for 5,000 years, so there is no need to quest. And that's where the religion failed. But science was not ready to accept everything. Scientific mind started questioning, is it really true that Earth is the center of the world? If everybody kept on believing it for 1,000 years, we'll be still living with that belief. But somebody had to question. And that generated the science that no, Earth is not the center of the universe. We are rotating around the sun, which must have been a revolutionary concept in 14th century. But all these things can be changed. Inquisitive mind generates the new and new answers. And answers something that can be questioned again. Fine, no problem with that. You may not ever find but the quest itself, the journey itself is beautiful. And doing that journey, you lose yourself. You lose the ego. And losing ego is the most beautiful thing that can happen. Not the other way. Either if it's running yourself into the material enjoyments, indulgences, where ego is the most important thing because that defines you. I like this, I don't like this. I like this, I don't like this. I like black label, I don't like red label and blue label or whatever. All those decides that you exist. But at the same time, the job of the religion was to drop that ego, to make you realize that unknowable is here. You can palpate him right now if you want to. But instead of that, they give you another identification. You are a Jain, you are a Hindu, you are a Muslim. Now that itself has created a lot of fights too. In fact, me liking black label or red label has not generated as many fights as me being a Hindu or a Muslim has killed thousands and millions of people. That's even worse than having small little ego here and there, getting drunk at the party or whatever.